We're here now with Senator Kamala Harris. She's a Democrat from California, first elected to the Senate in 2016 after 20 years as a prosecutor, including stints as the district attorney for San Francisco and attorney general of California.
And Senator Harris has also been laying the groundwork for a run for the White House. It is great to have you with us on this special holiday. Do you have an announcement you'd like to make?
I am running for president of the United States.
Well,
and,
that's a big announcement.
and I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it.
You mentioned 20 years. We mentioned 20 years as a prosecutor. If you win,
yes,
you're going to be commander-in-chief.
Yes.
What qualifies you to be commander-in-chief?
Well, first of all, let me just say I love my country. I love my country. And this is a moment in time that I feel a sense of responsibility to stand up and fight for the best of who we are. And that fight will always include, as one of the highest priorities, our national security. And thinking about it in a way that we understand that we must be smart, we must understand the power that we have, the strength that we have. That is about military power, it is about diplomatic power, it is about the power that we have in terms of what has been, until recently, our moral authority in the world and our ability to work with our allies. I am a career prosecutor, as you said. My entire career has been focused on keeping people safe. It is probably one of the things that motivates me more than anything else. And when I look at this moment in time, I know that the American people deserve to have somebody who is going to fight for them, who is going to see them, who will hear them, who will care about them, who will be concerned about their experience, and put them in front of self-interest.
You love this country. You also love your family. And for people who do not know, your mother was born in India.
Yes.
Your father was born in Jamaica.
That's
and
right.
They met when they were both involved in the civil rights movement.
That's exactly right.
In California at Berkeley. And
That's
in
right.
fact, your mother met Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes, she did.
Cannot be lost that you're making the announcement on
That's right.
this day. Is that important to you?
It is very important to me. You know, Dr. King, my parents were very active in the civil rights movement, and that's the language that I grew up hearing. And it was about a belief that we are a country that was founded on noble ideals. And we are the best of who we are when we fight to achieve those ideals. And the thing about Dr. King that always inspires me is he was aspirational. He was aspirational like our country is aspirational. We know that we've not yet reached those ideals, but our strength is that we fight to reach those ideals. And that inspires me, because it is true that we are a country that, yes, we are flawed, we are not perfect, but we are a great country when we think about the principles upon which we're founded. And yes, so today, the day we celebrate Dr. King, is a very special day for all of us as Americans, and I'm honored to be able to make my announcement on the day that we commemorate him.
President Trump has already said he wants to run again in 2020. You sit on the Senate Intelligence Committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee. You've been looking at the Russia investigation.
Right.
Have you seen any evidence that President Trump has committed an impeachable offense?
I cannot talk about the evidence that I've received in the Senate Intelligence Committee, but I will say that there is no question that Bob Mueller is conducting an investigation with the highest level of integrity. He is clearly taking the job very seriously. There have already been 33 indictments, and it is incumbent on the United States Congress to do everything in our power to ensure that his investigation is whole and will be complete without any interference.
It sounds like you don't think William Barr, the president's nominee for Attorney General, can oversee it in a fair manner.
Well, you're right, and during the course of the questioning of him, because I sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee, I expressed great concern, and I am very concerned that he was unwilling to agree that if the career people in the Department of Justice say he has a conflict and that he should recuse himself, he wasn't willing to agree that he would do that. We cannot, back to your point about my career, my entire career has been focused on our system of justice. It is one of the hallmarks of what gives us strength as a democracy. And it becomes weak when people interfere with that system for political purpose. And no one in particular, right now, when there are so many Americans that are distrustful of their government and its leaders and institutions, no one should give the American public any reason to question their integrity or the integrity of our system of justice. Yeah, absolutely.
You've had a long career, only 2 years in Washington, and the senior senator from your state of California says while she adores you, that she would support, if he should run, former Vice President Joe Biden. What do you say to people who feel that you don't have the necessary experience to be commander-in-chief?
Well, first I'll say that they have a long-standing relationship. They go back many, many years because their career started together in Washington, D.C. So I'm not concerned about that. It's a friendship, and I respect that. But let's look at my experience. I have the unique experience of having been a leader in local government, state government, and federal government. What I believe the American people want and their next commander-in-chief is someone who has leadership skills, who has experience, and has integrity, and will fight on their behalf. And on all of those points, I feel very confident about my ability to lead. I feel very confident about my ability to listen and to work on behalf of the American public. The American public wants a fighter, and they want someone that's going to fight like heck for them and not fight based on self-interest. And I'm prepared to do that.
Have you been listening when out on the book tour? And I'm sure that Americans are coming up and they're letting you know what is most important to them. What are you hearing from them?
What I'm hearing from them is that they want to know that we're going to focus on the fact that right now this economy is not working for working people. They're going to want to know those 800,000 people who have dedicated themselves to public service, those federal employees, they're going to want to know we're not playing politics with their livelihood and their ability to pay rent at the end of the month. Because let me be clear, Robin, and you know this, those folks don't want a wall, they want a paycheck. And as leaders, we need to be able to give them some certainty that we understand what their lives are like. They've got to pay their bills. They've got to put food on the table. They've got to send their children to soccer practice and go to the tutor, and they got to pay for that. Nobody's giving them a free ride. Nobody else that they require to help them is going to work for free. Why do we expect them to work for free? People want to know, and this is what I hear everywhere I go, that their leaders, and in particular their president, sees them and understands their needs. And right now there are a lot of working families in America whose needs are not being met. The cost of living is going up. Wages have remained stagnant for the most part. I've met so many folks who are working 2 and 3 jobs to pay the bills. Nobody should have to work more than 1 job to be able to pay their rent. So there are a lot of issues that I hear when I travel this country, and I'm prepared to discuss and listen more, and I'm prepared to lead.
You also say you're prepared to speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
One of those uncomfortable truths you speak for a lot of Democrats, you say the left has to get over its bias against law enforcement. What did you mean by that, and do you think that's going to be a problem for you in the Democratic primaries?
I think it is a false choice to suggest that communities don't want law enforcement. Most communities do. They don't want excessive force. They don't want racial profiling, but then nobody should. We can have a system that understands, and I know this in my career as a prosecutor, when I have fought in those courtrooms, it has been on behalf of sexual assault victims. It has been on behalf of students who were the victims of predatory for-profit colleges. It has been on behalf of homeowners who were the victims of predatory banking practices. People want that. They want to know that our laws will be enforced. And they also rightly should expect that we recognize our system of justice has been horribly flawed, and it needs to be reformed. We have a system of justice that has included systemic racism. We have a system of justice where a mother and father have to sit their child down, their son down, when he becomes a teenager and tell him that he may be stopped, he may be arrested, and he could be shot based on the color of his skin. There is a lot of work to do, but to suggest it's one or the other, no, I don't buy that. People want to know that they are safe in their communities. They want to know there will be consequence when a child is molested, a woman is raped, or somebody is killed. And they want to know that their law enforcement is going to conduct itself in a way that is fair and without bias, and certainly without any hint in its system of racism. So there's work to be done.
We're going to have you back along the trail.
Yes,
a lot more
okay.
questions to ask.
A lot more.
I'm ready.
Thanks for coming in today. Thanks for sharing the announcement on GMA.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.